Yeah, every year I have this same idea of creating new content, and every year I stop at some point. Something that keeps stopping me is that what is your niche, and well, what is my niche in this case, and the idea of to be centered into one specific thing, which I am not. Come here. I was interested in content creation since back in 2016. At the time, there was a sense of freedom in making it, an escape of the situations I had. I was in a very stressful job. I have issues with like friends and stuff like that. So creating that project really helped me to understand more about myself, about content, and getting a different perspective about life. That project was called Libre, which is a Spanish word for free. The content was about positivity, helping yourself to be a little free of the negativity of every day, and I really loved it. And I had success with it, but at some point I stopped. I was moving to another country, moved from Mexico to Canada, and I was going through so many changes that it felt fake to try to force a smile in front of the camera when I was hurting from all these changes. Saying goodbye to a version of me while I was migrating. So I stopped. Later, I also connected with art. Since I was a kid, I was always open to and interested in art. The beauty of it, the self-expression. My mom is a dance teacher, so I always saw art as a way to communicate and to express yourself. So when I moved to Canada, I reconnected with that and started making illustrations, exploring those changes through art and trying to find new techniques, learning new stuff and things like that. So I went back again into content. I would try to put it out there and showcase what I was doing. And again, it was good. I was enjoying it. But again, that little voice inside my head was like, are you even good? So I just slowed down. At the same time, I got into a place where I was able to explore the luxury world and get nice things and things that I was very interested since I was a kid. I think it connects with that part of the art. The beauty stuff, the quality stuff, or all of these things. The self-expression through what you wear and how you wear it and how you look, all of these things that I was and have always been interested in. Fun fact, before studying marketing and advertising, I wanted to do fashion design, but I left it aside to pursue marketing and advertising. So last year was the year that I made the most content I have ever done through these three lenses: positivity, art, and fashion. But trying to combine these two topics that in my head there are in different universes has been very difficult. So some of the content felt out of place or like not well represented, but I think it's more on how I seen these three as separate things and how that helped that little voice in my head to judge more. And I think that happens every year when I try to create things. That little voice in my head points out the little differences between the content and who I am, the mask that I create to be here and expose myself to the masses. And that, you know, the internet doesn't make it any better because you start playing that comparison game where there's people out there that are more talented or had better resources or a better life or like the luxuries or very good at their technique or are already, you know, experts in being positive and all these things. So you feel behind. Which are you? Which keeps feeding that inner voice that makes you stop. Before determining your niche, can you be consistent? So as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm interested in defining my niche. I work in marketing and advertising. I get it. It is important. But I keep thinking that we are more than one thing. So I know that you have to specialize and become an expert and use that expertise to bring other people, all of that jazz. If that's you, congratulations. Continue doing that. If that works, continue doing it. But for me, content creation is about connecting with people and connecting genuinely. And I think like lately my content is not that. So I'm coming back to the basics of who am I when I'm connecting through positivity? Who am I when I connect through art? And who am I when I connect through fashion? Why I want to connect with people in those spheres. And to understand that I am a combination of multiple things, and these three things is the ones that I'm choosing to put out there. So having a niche is very difficult because I am more than positivity, art, or fashion. So I want to balance it out. Obviously, I don't want to choose 16 things because you, the neurodiverse brain, I have a lot of interests and a lot of things I will be happy to explore, but I really need to keep it balanced into these three to just being consistent, which is the game this year. So this year I'm approaching content creation with that in mind, consistency, and trying to improve the quality and be more genuine, instead of just creating for the sake of creating or trying to get, the likes, follows, and going viral, because it's not what I'm trying to do. But making it more of a playground where I can discover myself and discover the things that I like and discover who am I when I'm approaching all these topics. Let's talk about the niches. So these are the niches. Positivity. I am drawn to the good side of things, and connecting with that has always helped me through life and through different scenarios. Being able to just see the good side kind of calms myself and help me go through stuff. It's not always possible. There's moments when, life is very difficult, but I also think like being kind and being like positive, it is a choice. So some days you are able to make that choice, some days you are not. So trying to make that choice every day, it's important for me. So that is kind of where I connect with this topic and how I go about life. I have been very fortunate to explore this through work and mentorship and helping people at work, and it's something that I continue exploring through there, but that I want to expand a little more this year and like get to more people that have that kind of sentiment about life, which will translate in a lot of the tone of my content to be that kind of like ray of sunshine in the internet, considering it can be quite distressful and negative. Don't get me wrong, I understand life is difficult, and I don't want to get into the extreme of everything is magical and everything is perfect, because life is not like that. But as I said, trying to make choices that bring that kindness and that bring that happiness and that bring that positivity to my life, especially in these difficult moments. Second, art. By no means I am an expert of this. I have no education on it. I had done a couple of classes and things like that, but it's just the interest and like the knowledge and the history, and getting to explore art and self-expression is something that I really enjoy. Storytelling, and either it is that making these videos or making paintings, I love that. So what could happen if I start calling myself an artist? Which, I'm just saying, it feels ridiculous, but I want to push myself to minimize that inside voice that keeps telling me maybe not, stop doing this, that's so cringe, and flipping that script into I am a beginner and I'm a student and I want to learn and I want to explore, and it has really helped. The past couple of months I've been watching YouTube videos and learning new techniques and using watercolors and exploring all of that, and it helps. It really helps to stop that dialogue or internal dialogue that keeps you away from doing stuff. So I would recommend go and be a student, be a beginner. You don't need to be an expert to start things, and you will never be an expert if you don't start. So go into it. So that is art. Art will be the student approach of things. A lot of the content will just be me showing you stuff, and it will be a mix between, the beauty of the learning of things, the sharing my stories, but also the positivity, the you can do this kind of approach, and like motivating you to take those steps. And then the last one, fashion. My 2025 content was a lot of that. Funny enough, I approached it differently but it's the type of content that it makes me feel more nervous. As I said, I'm in a position where I can access things that I have never before had access to, and it opened a full new world for me. And getting things that felt unattainable before has been very exciting, but showing it in here has been very unauthentic. It feels like bragging, and I don't like that. So I want to rail in on the overall how I share those things, and bear with me because I'm still trying to find what that looks like. But I want to continue exploring fashion in a way that is discovering who I am and how I want to be out there. The content that I had created before, it was a lot of like, hey, look at this thing. And trying to show you why I got it and like overall like reviews and stuff. But now I want to share it with you on more on this is me through these things and how I you know what I discover and what I like it, and like way more from my perspective and not from that idea of I have to be someone else, which is difficult. As I said, a lot of things out there are to show you the highs on life and like the unattainable and like the we are better than you approach. It's not my thing. I don't want to show you that. I just want to share with you who I am, and these kind of things excite me, and I want to share that excitement with you. So most of my content in 2025 was about fashion, but looking at it right now, I can see how there's a disconnect. Even when I was writing the script for this, I felt it that I was hiding behind these beautiful things, these beautiful items, because I was trying to reach out to you through this instead of reaching through myself. And a part of it is because right now I have access to things that I didn't even think I was able to attain at some point, which feels nice, and I'm very excited about it and I'm very happy with. But I don't want it to become a brag. I'm not here to show you anything that or don't want it to show it as pretentious part of like the internet. I want you to just be excited as I am with things. So a lot of the fashion topics in here will be way more about discovering myself and like finding myself through these changes in style and like showcasing myself, instead of the here it is, this is like what I think, because I still don't see it as me. But bear with me, it's very difficult. I still trying to define what that looks like, and it's a lot of try and error, so just bear with me. I will get there, I promise. At the end of the day, the overall advice that I can give you is to be authentic, not only for a content creation perspective, but in life. In a world that keeps pushing for AI and not the human side of things, as well as algorithms that keep pushing unrealistic lifestyle, be authentic and be yourself. That's the best solution to a lot of the situations we are in, which that in itself is a journey, because to be authentic is to know yourself. So discovering who you are and what you like and how you like it and where you want to be in the next 5 years is a journey, but taking a step at a time is important, and you can do it. And the only way to discover that is to try new things and see what you like and what you don't like, and how those things make you feel. And that is taking steps, and that is good. So don't be afraid of exploring. So keep moving. See you soon. Bye.